There we are. Now we're
There
live.
we go.
Now we're live. And it doesn't show live. It always takes a minute before it shows live on my phone. But it says we're live. It says we're live. Oh, I guess I better flip over here to comments. Comments. Okay, no comments. But I've got to move this thing. Ooh, that might work. That might work. All right, let's try that. See if that works. Okay, hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
At some point, it still isn't showing up on my phone as live, but it will. It will. It'll pop up. I don't know why it takes such a long time for it to show up on there, but it really does. It does. It does. Wow. It says waiting. Oh, there we go. There we are. Okay. It always scares me that I'm always afraid I have messed something up when I cannot see it live on the thing. And there's Miss Denise. Hello, hello.
Hi, Denise.
Hello, Miss Denise. Thank you so much for popping in this evening. And I always forget when you're doing these lives, the rule is you're supposed to say, and hello to those of you who have joined us for the replay. And I always forget to say that. So,
oh, okay.
Hello. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi. Gosh, it is such beautiful. Well, now, and see, you're all.
I'm rugged up. I've got a jumper on and a coat.
And look at me. I've got a sundress on. So, yes. But I think it's the first, maybe it's the second time I've done that. But it's 95 today. So I'm dressing for sunshine. How about y'all?
40
Linda?
today.
It's 40.
Today.
Ooh.
That's cold for us.
Yeah. That is definitely cold for you. So you're wearing, now see, I can't get squared up here. So I changed my furniture. There we go. That's a little better. And I was really worried about how it was going to be, but I'm so much more comfortable. I had that love seat here and it was just full of junk. Mostly I was sat in one little spot full of junk. Took out the love seat and we just put the chair here. So now here's my arms right here. And I've got a footstool, not a hammock. It's not a footstool. It's not a hammock, but it's basically a footstool. But an ottoman, that's the word. And I love it. I love it. So I've got room to
I don't know the difference between a footstool and an ottoman.
I don't know. They're probably the same thing. But that's the word that I was trying to get in my brain. And I can put my feet up, which is so much easier on my back. Because I wanted one of those. I wanted a recliner. But I didn't want to buy a recliner. And really, I just needed my footstool. So I love having my footstool here. And I've got room to, set a bag or something on it. And sit here and work on my stuff. And it's way more comfortable than I was before. And I still have room to set a little something here beside me. And I've got my pillow. Although my Franken blanket's across the room, but I shouldn't need it tonight. Should not need it tonight. Not
our lounge room's too small for a recliner. Just that everything needs to be up against the wall.
Well, and that's the problem with Mr.'s recliner. There wasn't really room for one. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. And I ended up kind of sideways instead of straight on, but it really works just fine because I don't really sit straight up in a chair. I always sit all crookedy and sideways. So that's normal for me. So how was your trip?
Oh, it was wonderful. I caught up with so many people. There's a mountain that's got a cafe at the top, and the cafe is run by an organization that gives women who have been in tough situations domestically a second chance to get on their feet. And so we went there and it was so nice. The people were absolutely lovely. So my friend and we stayed there for about 4 hours just talking away because we haven't caught up for over a year. I saw my niece, I saw my son, I saw my sister, stayed with her. Then we went on a road trip and saw my aunt and uncle who were in their 90s. Yeah, and caught up with other people. It was great, absolutely great. It was relaxing but energizing at the same time, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I loved it. Hi, Robert. Hi, Amy.
Hi, hello, Amy. That is
Yeah, so,
wonderful. I'm glad you had a good break. I am
it was
glad.
nice.
Was
And I
it
think I only
simple?
got about 5 rows of crocheting done on a blanket, and that was it. I
Yep,
didn't pick
I
it up for the
understand
rest of
that. I understand that 100%.
the year.
Oh shoot, did I make that? Nope, I did not make a mistake. Did I? Wait a
One
minute.
of
I think I already have made a mistake. Yes. Tear it out, tear it out, tear it out.
That's my girl.
one of the nurseries, plant nurseries that we visited was in the country, very rural area, and it had a little art gallery there, and a gentleman sells his sculptures there. I guess you'd call them sculptures.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes
Oh.
them all with old machine pieces, cogs and spanners and old tools that are just thrown out. And they're amazing. I was more fascinated by that than the plants. Making kangaroos and emus, and even made a motorcycle out of parts from bicycles and all sorts of things. It's fascinating.
That is so cool. I think I've seen things like that before, and it's just amazing what people can create like that. I just can't see it.
Yes.
I
No,
just
I
can't.
can't see it.
I have no imagination for stuff like that.
Mm.
So it's really, really hard for me to well, even with this stuff, it's like if I have a pattern, yes, I can create it. But if I don't have a pattern, forget it. It's not happening.
Mm.
I never
I
know.
can, but I can't make up patterns, pattern designs. But if I've got a pattern book of lots of different stitches, I can put them together. And I guess that's the lower level of design work. So,
Yeah.
Amy, did you finish the iris shawl or the iris wrap? She said she sent you an email, Robin. She finished the wrap. I'm thinking that's what she
Probably.
means.
Let me look and see. Let's just see. Let's just see.
Email or text?
Well, there's nothing new in there, so it must be in here. Oh, we're live. I don't know why I always get an email saying, "Hey, you're live."
Yes.
Oh, here it is. Oh, it's beautiful. Wow, I never would have thought to use those colors. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. I think if I do that. Okay. It's sort of a gold and peach.
Nice.
Very pretty.
I like that.
Oh, it's sparkly. Now I can see it's sparkly.
Yes, I can see the sparkles in there.
Whoops, it doesn't want to.
It's turned around.
There we go. Now I can see. Oh, that's you. There. Isn't that beautiful? So gorgeous. Good job. Super pretty. Super, super pretty. Very nice. Thank you so much for sending that. I like that. Here we go. Get you back up there. Yep, the sparkle. I'm surprised because a lot of times the sparkle on those things do not show up when you're showing them on a picture like that. But it did. It showed up very nicely. Good job. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy making it? I like the way you broke up the color in the stripes like that.
Yes.
Let's see if I can remember what I'm doing here. Switch this. Okay.
And while I was visiting, my niece took lots of pictures of my shawl, And then the set. I just finished. I'm not sure what you've got. I can't understand the last little bit of your comment, Linda. Finished the.
I'm sure we got a little bit of auto cucumber there.
Yes. Yeah, so my niece took some photos. I was really happy with those. And then my sister took the shawl, so I don't have it any longer.
Oh, she kept the shawl too.
Yes, my sister kept the shawl, so my niece's mum. And she goes, "Oh, it's so soft. How did you get it so puffy?" And she wore it every night that I was there because it was cold.
Oh, nice. Isn't that wonderful when someone uses what you've made? Doesn't it just make you so happy?
Yes.
Oh, so Amy says she loved the pattern. She'll definitely do it again, but she did not like that yarn. What yarn was it? I hope it wasn't my yarn. I know mine didn't have sparkles in it, so. Linda just finished the set of pinholes.
The pinhole. I think you'll like the pinhole. It's not a difficult one at all, that one. Before I went away, I was looking after a friend's animals at her place. And again, I didn't take my crocheting or knitting with me because animals, cats, they shed like billy-o. And
like what? They shed like what?
Billy-o.
Billy-o?
Yes, billy-o. It means like crazy.
Yeah.
But billy-o doesn't mean crazy, but they shed like crazy. They shed a lot. Billy-o, I don't know. Sorry. And I'm converting my shawl into a wrap. And that took me like 20 minutes to work out the row repeat and everything like that. So now I've just started knitting it up for just to see how it goes.
Oh.
The months that it took me, the weeks it took me to make that as a triangular shawl, 20 minutes to convert it to a wrap.
Well, now I'm interested. Oh, so she used Mary Maxim Glimmer. Oh, you know what? I've got a kit with the Mary Maxim Glimmer. The sparkle gets rough. Okay. Well, not everybody can use that stuff. I made that. It was surprising. I made that cape, and it was full-length cape for my granddaughter, and it was a full-length wraparound cape. The whole thing. It was a ton, and it had sequins in the yarn. I thought it was going to be awful to work with, and it wasn't at all. It even frogged okay. It was a little bit catchy, the yarn itself, but not because of the sequins. Our hands are super sensitive. Yeah, that happens.
So the sequins go on the inside as well, because you can't control that they're all on the outside.
Yeah. It wasn't like heavily sequined, but there was a lot. There was quite. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've got 1 or 2 skeins of that yarn in there still too. Because you got to make sure you got enough.
Yes.
That was funsies. I ran out partway through, and in the meantime, the yarn had been discontinued. So trying to track that down.
My son wants me to knit him a blanket, and I was going to do it in the Mary Maxim. The Mona Lisa yarn that I got from Mary Maxim, and I went over there. They don't sell it anymore.
Oh, they don't, because that was always a great option.
It was. It was like less than $2. It was always on special, and so that was great for me over here.
I haven't looked at Mary Maxim in a while, but or for that, I haven't looked for that yarn, but I was just
like it, but I'm not paying $6 or $7 for a skein.
No,
I can get something
much nicer,
something like that here.
That's too bad, because that was a decent. But they had it. for $2 for a long time.
Yes.
So you always wondered if they were doing something trying to get rid of it.
Yes.
Mm.
I found crocheting with it a little bit splitty, but knitting I found it was fine. I find some yarns, they just don't split as much when I'm knitting with them.
Well, and this yarn that I'm using right now, I've started my elfin squares, y'all. It's official. I actually have 2 of them done. And because I figured this is something I can do while I'm sitting and talking. So I have two squares officially done, and I love the way this yarn is working up. But talk about splitty yarn. And I was afraid it was going to be when I pulled it, it just looks like it's going to be splitty. And it is. But my hook, I was using one of my Furls hooks, and that particular one had a very sharp tooth on the grab, very sharp. And I was working with this thing, and I'm like, because it was catching on every single stitch. I'm like, this is going to make me crazy.
Yes.
And so probably maybe halfway through this one, I'm like, I got to get a different hook. And I dug around and dug around and dug around, and I found my Hiya hook, which I love. I love my Hiya. And it's just like butter. It is working so fast. This yarn it's a yarn bee from Hobby Lobby. It's called Katarina. It's the yarn bee Katarina. And the color is Thistle. It's a beautiful yarn, and it is working up beautifully. But I knew when I
found the right hook.
Yeah, and I knew when I pulled it out of because it also is knotting up super. When I'm pulling it, it's knotting. So I got to be super careful of pulling it out of here. This is going to be one I'm going to want to run into a ball as I'm working on them. But boy, I definitely had to get a hook that didn't have as sharp of a tooth on that. And it has just it made all the difference in this. But I do like the Hayas. They're super slick. I think they're as nice as the Clover Soft Touch as far as the hook itself, the working end of it. And actually, the heads are almost identical. It's an inline. They're both an inline.
Right.
Yeah, they're both an inline. And they're very, very similar in style. But check this out. Because I like a longer hook. Okay, you can see they're even there on top.
Yep.
Even.
Yep.
Look at the difference in size. Mm-hmm.
About an inch longer?
Oh, at least. Yeah, at least an inch longer. Which means that it fits so nice in my hand. Because I've got such big hands. And these guys, they're just, it gets lost in my hand. But, the way it's made, it doesn't bother me. And this thing is so thin, that's that same old problem. So if I was working on something where I worked on it all the time, I probably couldn't have used this one. I'd have to find something that I'd find my soft touch. It's probably in a bag with something with another project. But I don't mind working with this one. And it's so fast. It works with this yarn so fast. The yarn isn't splitting at all since I switched to this hook. And I'm literally fighting with every single stitch last time before I switched.
And your elfin squares are just a granny square, are they?
Well, because we are making 40 of them. I don't. What was wrong with us, you guys? What were we thinking? See what I mean? Just pulling this out of the center, it did that. And it does it a lot. So I spend a lot of time untangling this yarn. I'm going to make 20 of them, just a basic square. And, you know, here we are in July, and I'm just getting started on this thing. So,
And therefore November they need to be sent
well,
out?
they have to be mailed by November, but I'm a cheapskate, and I know that every year, round about the beginning of November, the post office raises their rates for their Christmas, for their holiday rates go up. And so my goal is to get these things in the mail before the holiday rate increase, but they don't tell you when that is. So I'm thinking sometime, I'm hoping if I can make it by mid-October, we'll beat that price
Right.
increase. And you know what? Honestly, even if I just beat some of them, if I don't get them all in the mail, even if I get some of them in the mail, because I'm sure it's gonna be worse for Canada, getting things to Canada than it is just here. Amy said, Dana's look like, yes, Dana's, some of hers are standard grannies as well. I think almost everybody we've talked to, that's what they're doing. They're doing, half of them are standard grannies and half of them are something a little bit special, a little different.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured out what my different one's going to be. I've looked at a few. I've got a folder saved, and
Do your Irish shawl pattern.
in a granny.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be square going round and round. Just do it back and forth for 8 inches.
Oh,
so make it 8 inches wide, and then
I never thought. See, I never think of that. I always just think, I think everything has to be a square. Well, because she says 8-inch square, so I'm thinking it has to be a square.
Well, yep. It will be if
yeah.
you do it 8 inches wide by 8 inches tall.
You're right.
And you know that,
yeah.
And it knits and it crochets up quickly.
Yeah, because my other squares weren't a granny; they were, you know, they were the mitered corner.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Never thought of that. I don't think of these things, but I just thought I'd I was going to say get a head start. It's not a get a head start. It's, yeah, it's get going. Get started finally on these. So I really, really appreciate you guys agreeing to let us combine the 2 Sunday lives. It's so much better. And since it's all basically the same people coming into both of them, it really just makes sense to do that. Okay, now let me see. I'm at my corner where I have to think for a second.
And I think more people would have things on a Sunday morning, and you know, prefer to come in the evening.
Yep, I know it works better for Linda. I definitely know it works better for Linda too. And so I really do it, but I'm really happy that everybody was okay with that, because it really helped me a lot. It really does. And I got a lot done today because of that. Now let me look here. I keep forgetting. I can never remember if I'm supposed to chain there or not. Okay, now flip it over. Now do my slip stitch. And then
so I have the video recorded for the final section of my shawl, the mock honeycomb stitch, and then I've also recorded the ending with the bind off as well. I just have to edit it and put it all together.
Nice.
Yes. Nice, and then I will probably do one on the how to fix things if you've got a different stitch count. And then I'll probably do the introduction one.
That's a good idea.
But yeah, I didn't have an introduction one. I thought,
That's a good idea. Okay, so this week's square. This week we don't have a square because this is our catch-up week. So it was working on anything we needed to catch up on, getting your borders on, getting things blocked. I did none of that. We had a we had company show up that we were not expecting. And so I was hostessing, as it were. So I got
Nice.
nothing done. I got nothing done last week. And so all of the things I planned on doing, other than the 2 squares you just saw, is literally all I got worked on. And then I said, I'll just take all this stuff to the shop with me, because I'm used to sitting at the shop all day and making my videos and working on my projects. That's not happening anymore. I was busy from the minute we got there. In fact, I stayed after an hour because, I mean, even just doing the close up stuff, I normally I start closing things up about 2:30 and cleaning up and packing up the garbage and hauling stuff out to my car. I couldn't do any of that stuff till literally after we had locked the door. And I mean, it was wonderful, and it was busy all day. And we had our, we do our little sit and stitch, which we call yarn and yak. And
I like
that's
that.
at noon. I know, isn't that cute? And I had these little girls show up, these 3 little girls, they're like 22 or something. And they're like, hi, we're here. And I'm like, oh my God, they're here. There's somebody here. And they brought all their little stuff, and they sat down, and one of them opened up a computer and started following a pattern. And I'm like, well, what are you working on? And she was making a leggy froggy. She got the whole thing done while we were sitting there, other than the stuff. She got the whole thing done. And one of the other girls was working on, one of those things that looks like a plant, looks like a hanging plant, the pot, and then all the things hanging down from it.
Oh, yes.
And then another one, she was painting little figurines, and she had brought all of her little stuff with her. And it was really nice, because you guys have seen the pictures of the shop before, where we've got all the different things in there, because we do classes. And she's like, oh man, I forgot blah, blah, blah paint. And I said, well, there's some paint over there. I have no idea what it is.
Yep.
And she went over there and she found exactly what she needed. I was so happy, because otherwise she would have sat there and she wouldn't have had anything to do. And the girls would have ended up leaving sooner. And
did the 3 girls know each other? Yeah,
they came in. They were sisters and a friend.
Right.
And the 2 sisters crocheted, and then the friend was painting. Hello, Mr. Steve.
Hi, Steve.
October 2nd. Oh, okay. So they're not surcharging. So he doesn't think they're going to surcharge this year because they're raising their prices now. Yeah, because they raised their prices on everything in July.
Wow.
That would be nice.
Our Australia Post only changes the price for cards, and they reduce it. So usually to send any kind of letter in Australia, anywhere in Australia, is $1.10, I think. And at Christmas time, it'll go down to 70 cents or 75 cents. And so a lot of people send their letters that way as well and say it's a card only in there. But they don't raise the prices for parcels or anything like that, or surcharge.
Yeah, they usually surcharge. Well, at least they did last year. They surcharged at Christmas time. Would you give me
what?
A couple of Tums? I'm starting to get some heartburn. Oh, right here. Got my Tums. And I took my, maybe I did not take my heartburn medicine today. So their site says they're not going to. Okay. Well, good. I guess I could have looked there. I was going to ask my lady, but I didn't think to do that. Well, good. Then I don't have to worry about that as much.
They have a captive audience, really, don't they? I mean,
nothing you can do about it.
Clientele. You're going to send it. And I imagine, similar to here, most people send it by Australia Post. They don't use one of the courier service. If you're just a general, Joe Blow, you don't use couriers to send a parcel to your grandkids or anything like that. You should use Australia Post.
Well, and the only way, I mean, we've got UPS or FedEx, and you still do. I mean, once in a while we do use those. I'm looking, Linda. It might take a minute to get through.
We have a lot of courier services, and they tend to be more expensive than Australia Post.
Really?
Unless you're a business. Yeah, definitely. And so is bingo tomorrow night, Robin, or is it next?
Bingo's tomorrow.
Tomorrow night?
And so everybody should have been signed up by yesterday. Oh, on my phone chat. Okay. And I've got... Oh, dear. Oh, Sherry's got her little polar bears done. Oh, my gosh, they're darling. I'm trying to find it. Linda, did you send it under your name? Let me search Linda. There it is. There it is. Nope, did not come through under that. Let me check one other thing. I've got so many different places where you can... Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, so pretty. Picture of your blankie with Cheryl and Robbin in the background.
Oh.
Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful.
Nice.
Gorgeous.
And this is for grand or great-grandchild, Linda? Number 635?
Green and white together. So she's working two colors together for baby Hattie coming in November. So pretty. That is just gorgeous. That is really nice. What is that stitch you're using?
25. See, I was close.
It looks like a twisted, a cross stitch of some sort. I learned a new stitch today. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a real stitch or just something somebody made up. You got that all over me. Yeah. Dang it. Give me a wipey. It was a half double crochet, but instead of doing it under, you've got your V on top, instead of going right under there, she was going in between underneath. Oh, it's a cross double. Okay. She called it an extended half double. And so you would go across, then when you turned it, you know how it's kind of got that third loop down below? She had you going down underneath that. And it almost looks like, I need it wet. It almost looks like a linen stitch because of it going down and up like that. So
it's not what I would call an extended half double.
Yeah, well,
because if you think of how you do it,
she called it extended. She called it a wide half double.
Okay.
So it was really pretty, and I liked the way it looked on the fabric. But I wanted to see, like, side by side, the regular one and then this new stitch. Has any of you guys ever seen that worked up before? Oh, look, it's Miss Dana. There's trouble. There's trouble right there. Thank you.
We were just about to close down, weren't we, Robbin?
Yeah, it's nice seeing everybody. Bye.
Bye.
So, but I thought, geez, that was really I liked the way the stitch looked, and it was easy to do, and I was curious to see how it looks.
Well, you can do it side by side. There's nothing stopping you doing it, a swatch.
And I will, but
okay.
I happened to be doing, because I do on my edge of these, I do a row of half double crochet, but you couldn't tell the difference until you were doing it on a couple 3 rows. So you couldn't see anything, couldn't see any difference at all. So, but anywho, I did have time today because I'm only doing one live to work on the project for next week. So next week what is due is the something stitch.
Single rib basket weave? No, single
No.
basket weave.
Waffle rib.
Waffle rib.
It does look like a waffle. Now that I see the name of it, I can see a waffle. So it's called the waffle rib. And I've got my sample done. Look at that. There's our waffle. It looks kind of like a waffle there. There's the waffle rib. So that's what we're doing for next week. So, and look what I'm working on, Miss Dana. Making elfin squares. But yeah, I did. I thought that was interesting. And I don't even know why I saw it or how it popped up. But
do you remember who it was from? Who was demonstrating it?
Live, Love, Laugh.
Okay.
Who happens to be, I want to say, could be wrong, wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last, but I think she's the one who I got my square, my mitered square from. Could be completely wrong. Completely wrong. But anyway,
it could be. They tend to show you things that even if you haven't subscribed to a person, if you've watched a video or two of those, they'll recommend them.
Yeah, let me see if I can find, because I watched it 3 or 4 times today, and then of course I started watching 400 other things. So then I'm sitting there and I lied. Heart, hook, and home.
Oh yes, heart, hook, and home. Yes.
Heart, hook, and home. Wide half double. It's a very pretty fabric, but I don't know. We'll see. So I was watching that, and then a new video of Dana's popped up, and it said new video, and it was the Scorched Earth Challenge from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
This is not a new video, but I watched it. I watched it anyway. So
they often recommend to me videos that are 3-4 years old.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And especially if you've already watched it, you think, well, why are you recommending it to me again?
Why are you doing this? Yeah, of course I want to watch it because I watched everything coming from there. So yeah, that was quite interesting. I'm like,
when I was away, when I logged into YouTube while I was away, I had something like 430 odd videos that I'd missed in the week that I was away, and I thought, I'm not going to ever catch up on that.
Well, really. Yeah,
no.
Oh, well, thanks so much for gracing us with your presence, Miss Dana. Good night. I'll talk to you in the morning. Oh.
So do you know where Dana is at the moment? Is she still on the west coast?
I'm not sure where Miss Dana is. Miss Dana's giving us nasty grams. She's giving us pictures. Oh, Steve says good morning, Dana. Don't forget tomorrow's bingo, Dana. Oh, she's in Pacific, Washington.
So isn't it like 6:30 at night where you are at the moment?
Mm-hmm.
And it's bedtime. Okay.
Well,
Must have an early day.
She's often up by 4:30 or 5 in the morning. Many's the time I get a message. Are you up yet? No, I am not.
I must admit, I tend to be a night owl, but while I was away, I was in bed by 8:30 p.m. every night, tired and asleep by 9.
Yeah. These last couple days, I've been going to bed about 9:30.
Mm.
Oh, and it's early. Oh, that's right. Because Steve, are you in England now? I wasn't expecting you to be here. He was going to be in England. It's hard to get. I feel like I can't. Oh, and then there's this big old wad of hair hanging out where it shouldn't be. Yes, he's in England. Okay. So he's in. I knew that's where he was going. See, I remembered. Hello, Maritza. Hello, hello. But I've got all of the numbers loaded into the description box. There are 2 people who've got mistakes, who have errors in their numbers. They don't have enough numbers. One of them only has 5 numbers, I think.
Okay.
So, and you've got internet. Nice. So
what would it be, about 1 a.m. for you, Steve, at the moment in England? I mean, I guess they have different time zones as well. But I know we're GMT plus 10, and it's 11, quarter to 12, or quarter to noon.
Yeah, what time is it where you are, Steve? And what city are you in? And how long does this flight take?
Birmingham.
Oh, he's in Birmingham.
No, I don't know. I was saying, let's all guess where he is.
Oh,
it's probably. So I just guessed Birmingham.
Well, he's somewhere that I always think, oh dear, Morgan's got a boo-boo. Did you fall or were you attacked? We might have to go get her from work.
Oh, hi, Maritza.
Yeah, I imagine your internal clock is off. It always is when you travel like that. I think my daughter's coming home today or tomorrow. I'll bet it's today.
From where? From overseas, I guess.
From where did we decide she was at in Africa? Cape.
Oh, Cape of Good Hope.
Cape Hope. Yeah.
Yes.
So she should be getting back because I'm sure she said, I'm sure it's today or tomorrow. It's almost 3 in the afternoon or morning. You said middle of the night.
Morning. Yeah, it'd be morning for Steve at 3
a.m.
in the
morning. Oh, it's your resting day. Okay.
Yes.
See, now I would have to take a Tylenol PM and just knock me out and sleep. Okay. So did you take a project with you, Steve? Did you take some yarn? Or when you go over for things like that, you have stuff to work on there? And are they known for yarn over there? Can you get some lovely yarn while you're there?
Oh my goodness, yes. England.
In England?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anywhere in the UK. Yes, you have West Yorkshire Spinners. You have.
Oh yes, of course, West Yorkshire Spinners. See, I didn't think of that. Oh my, see?
Lots and lots of lovely yarns over there, bespoke yarns and all sorts. Yes.
Oh. Okay.
And you just a hop, skip, and a jump from Europe, and Europe's got some fantastic yarns as well.
Yeah, that I knew. That I did know.
I wonder if the Wool Warehouse has a store that you could just walk into and see all their yarns.
Oh, of course, the Wool Warehouse. Oh, and the style craft.
Yes.
And what about Shepsies? Sheepsies? How do you say that? Shepsies.
That's in Finland, isn't it? Or Sweden? It's one of the European countries. Norwegian, maybe even.
Oh.
But you'd certainly be able to get it in England.
Probably easier there than here. But it's still, the cost might be,
Yeah.
With the difference in the dollar.
Mm. Oh, gardening.
Yeah,
Now,
he's
do
a
they have
thing.
one of their gardening exhibitions on at the moment? The huge one in England.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on because that's why he's over there. It's a big
Mm.
expo.
I can't think what it's called now.
Hampton Sea,
Hampton Court, yes.
because I keep thinking he's here in Hampton, Connecticut. Every time he writes that, I think he's in
Oh,
Connecticut.
yes. Nice. And do you have ties to the UK, Steve, or it's just someplace that you like to visit? Oh, my fingers feel like they're going to snap off. It's so cold. So if you see me like this, it's because they're under my arms trying to get
Freezing
warm.
to death with your 40
Oh,
degrees.
yes.
Is that 40 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Oh,
Fahrenheit.
yes, Fahrenheit. If it was 40 degrees Celsius, I'd be like you. 40 degrees Celsius is just
Oh, okay. That's
on
warm.
100, just over 100.
Oh my,
Mm.
yeah. Oh, you've got friends over there. How nice. How nice.
872. Yeah, so 40 degrees would be 104 Fahrenheit if it was 40 degrees Celsius.
Well,
So
that's
no, I
probably
wouldn't be all rugged up and complaining. Well, I'd be complaining. I'd be complaining that
but it'd be the other way. Yeah.
Yes. Mm.
So Morgan fell at work and scraped her knees all up. And so this is the picture she sent me.
Oh dear.
And I said, did you fall or were you attacked? And I said, do I need to come get you? She said, no, it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Oh, poor baby.
But it will sting. That will sting. Although she's young, it won't stiffen up as much as it would for us.
Right. Yes, go take a nap, Steve.
Yeah. Okay, Steve.
You'd be ever so proud of me. I've made so many appropriate decisions in the last few days, and I cannot tell you how many times I have said, Steve would be so proud of me. Steve would be so happy.
Oh, dear.
That's my new mantra. What would Steve do? What would Steve make me do? Yes, go get some rest so you can enjoy your day.
What's left of it?
You know, it's 3 a.m. where he is.
I know.
He's in England.
It's almost over. The whole day is.
It hasn't even started yet. He's going to get rested up and then he's going to go see stuff.
Yes, you could get good 4 hours sleep in. That's enough to keep you going till the next night.
I do that every day.
Mm-hmm. So that's nice. So you're reworking your shawl pattern.
Yes, into a rectangle. So a wrap, which can also then be done as a blanket as well. You can make it any size. Yes.
Oh, that would be a lovely blanket.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do for my son. I'll make him a blanket out of it.
I feel like it would be cheating to do it as a rectangle, but I feel like it would sure be easier without all those, because you wouldn't be doing all those increases and decreases, right?
You wouldn't be doing the increases. Some of the stitch patterns still have the decreases, but yeah, you wouldn't be doing the decreases. It would be a lot easier as a rectangle.
And especially since I've only got about this much done, I might just be doing that.
Yes, I was wondering why I haven't been seeing yours, young Robbin.
I'm so behind.
Oh, no. And
I almost thought about, oh my gosh, I'm so bad with names. Hello, Miss Deb. Not Charlotte. Oh, what is her name? It's not Charlotte. It's not Cheryl. It's not Connie. It's not Crystal. Starts with a C. She lives just down the road. Anyway.
Cynthia.
Cynthia, thank you. Last week, I was thinking I should just pay her to make my squares to make these. She'd love to do it. But
and she's not part of the Christmas swap.
Linda says that the rows are getting so big now, it takes a while to do them.
Yes.
But okay. But I'm caught up on my weekly knit square, and only because since it is my project, I feel like I absolutely have to do it. I have got started on this.
Yes.
I'm nearly finished with the baby's sweater. I didn't touch it all week. The kid's going to be 2 before I get it done.
Baby's sweater or the baby's dress?
The baby's dress. And check this out, y'all. Oh, check this out.
I think that will be the drawback when it's actually a wrap, Linda, is that every row will be long because you'll be doing the width. Although you could do it, so you'll be doing the length, but you could do the width. Do it widthwise like Robbin.
Yeah. Do you guys remember when I started the Minecraft blanket?
Yes.
The pretend Minecraft blanket?
Yes. Nice. Those colors go so well together.
So in theory, I have one more color to go. I have the cinnamon. So the only color I have left of the original group would be the cinnamon. But, okay. Now, remember, mine is a commission. So we had the option of brown or purple.
Yes.
You'll notice mine has brown and purple.
Yes.
So
to make it that little bit bigger.
Make it that little bit bigger. So, and I have one more skein. So this, in theory, is how big it would be. This is and I added, this is the width, which I'm very pleased with the width. It's the width of my chair. And I don't have my, you're going to have this much on each side.
Right.
For, not binding.
If you make yourself big, you'll be able to show your wingspan better.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's a nice size width right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're easily going to have 4 inches on each side for border. And then lengthwise, yeah, this is how big it will. Imagine you've got 2 more inches of the gray, because I haven't done the gray here yet. That's what I should be working on tonight. So you've got all of this. So this is how big the colors would be. So this is the length. It's a little bigger than square. Well, let's just measure it up since we got this measuring stick right here handy. Okay, that's 25. And that's 50. So it's going to end up being, let's say 53-ish long before the border.
Okay, 4.5.
That's a nice size. And then it's been measuring about 25, 35, 45. It's about 45 wide right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
So this is a nice size. I mean, did
you say 2 inch, roughly 2 inch?
Probably, I would say probably 4 inches on either side.
Oh,
so 4 inches all the way around. And I would consider this just about lapgan size right now. And I'm going to add one more. To it. It's the only other color I had that we had in stock of this. I'm throwing in there. So if we took off, what did I say, 50-ish long? So if we
Yes,
took off
53, I think you said.
Okay, if we take up one stripe's about 5.5, 6 inches. So it's still going to be it's going to be a nice lap dance size. Throw over your lap. Snuggle under while you're watching TV, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not a huge blankie, but. So Deb, that gives you some ideas there. And I'm ending up with, now, remember, I'm not doing the loop-de-doos. You can see there's no loop-de-doos on here. So I end up with a little bit more yarn left over than anybody who's actually doing the pattern. And I'm ending up with about 40 grams out of each pattern left over. I got half a skein. So I'm going to go where it shows on the thing to go around one time with each color. I'm going to try and go around 2 times with each color and see what I end up with. Because for one thing, I don't want a whole bunch of, 20 grams left over out of each skein.
No.
And then, I just want to make it as big as I can with the yarn that I have. Okay, good.
So what cascade yarn would you have in a 4-weight?
Well, the Anthem.
That you would recommend. The Anthem is
the Anthem in a 4-weight. If you want a a more inexpensive one, and that's the same as, well, that's the same as the yarn that we used for the shawl. It's just the shawl was the DK, and then we've got it in the 4. We've got the Pacific, which is what I'm using to make your shawl. And that one's a little nicer because that is the wool and acrylic blend. And that is a beautiful yarn. We have, oh my gosh, top of my head. She's quizzing me, you guys. She's quizzing me. If you're not, it depends also what fabric you're looking for. We've got the 220, which is their biggest selling yarn. And that's the 100% superwash. And then they've got another one that is 100% merino. And then, of course, we've got the Nifty Cotton that Dana just gave away, and that's in a 4-weight. And then the Nifty Effects Cotton, which is the same thing. It's just different. We've got 3 different colors. We've got a solid and then 3 different kinds of colors in the cottons.
Okay. And so are the Pacific and Anthem, or the Anthem you said was an acrylic, is that a anti-pilling one?
Yes, it's exactly the same as the DK we're using for the shawl. It's just the 4-weight instead of the 3-weight.
Okay.
Deb, I'm not understanding your question. Is there a DK in the crib? You mean cherub? Are you asking about the cherub that we're using for this is the cherub that I used to put the Minecraft together.
Oh, okay. And that's an acrylic as well, is it?
It's an acrylic nylon blend. It's 55 nylon, 45 acrylic, and it is so soft. I just cannot believe how soft it is to work up. Super, super nice. And if that's what you're asking me, I'd literally have to look it up. But I think this is working up as a DK. Yeah, I think this is working up as a DK. The Aran.
I've noticed that Hobie's Amigo yarn is on the thinner side. So if it says it's a DK, it's on the thinner side. It's got a lot of yardage. I think something like 350 yards per skein, and that's almost a 2-weight in my book. And the same with their XL. I can't remember offhand how much it has, but it's on the thicker side of a DK and a thinner 4-weight. So yes, I know some people say you can't go by the yardage, but if it's an acrylic, you basically can.
Yeah,
acrylics you can, I find.
Me too. But Yeah, this is definitely.
So you're finding that the 4 weight, the worsted weight in the cherub is a bit like a DK.
Yeah. Okay, here's the Pacific, which is a DK, a 4, and here is the cherub.
Higher.
Where's my camera?
Oh yes, yep. You can see that that's a little bit
there.
thinner.
There, you can
salmon
definitely
one.
see the difference there. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's definitely thinner. Definitely thinner. But
what's the yardage comparison?
that's what I was just going to look. The cherub has 240, and this two has 213.
See, 240 is what I'd consider a right and slap bang in the middle of a good DK.
Yeah. Get this all stuff. Everything in the right bag. Everything in the right bag. But when I pulled that blanket out to show those little girls that came in there, they got very excited and they're like, "Oh, those are Minecraft colors." And they play Minecraft, and they were bringing all the things up and showing me all the different stuff. And they're like, "Do you think we could make this? Do you think we could make that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And one of the blankets that I guess is a pretty famous Minecraft blanket, you know, what do I know? It's just a granny square blanket with a solid color and then a heart, and then one of the squares is white.
Oh, okay.
That's a very famous Minecraft blanket. They were thrilled beyond belief that I could teach them how to do that. It is so fun being around young people that are excited about this stuff.
Yes. So the sisters who crochet, were they new crocheters, like they're learning? Or
Pretty new. Yeah. Mostly they've only crocheted amigurumi. So
okay.
That's the only thing. And I don't think, I was going to say, I don't think they can read a pattern, but I didn't hear any video playing, and she was booking along. She got that whole leggy frog done in 2 hours, just over 2 hours, because she started it while we were sitting there, and it's ready to stuff. She was ready to stuff when she left. So
that's incredible.
And then we were talking about this blanket and what the whole thingy is on it. And then I was talking to him about the sun bunnies. And by the by, is there anyone in here who has made the sun bunny?
No.
Apparently, we're going to be making the sun bunnies as a group. They thought that would be delightful.
Did you say Dana?
No.
Oh, so who was the group? Who's the group?
Me and those girls.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Dana's decided.
No. They want to make the sun bunnies because I showed them the picture and they thought that was just the sweetest thing. And so they want to make sun bunnies that they can send off to the children's home.
Nice.
And I was hoping that there's an actual pattern and that I don't have to listen to 5 hours of that video of instruction. So,
yes. There was a top that I was wanting to make. I can't remember. She was an English lady, and it was only in the tutorial, and I thought, that's so long to be trying to write it down, like stop, go back, write it down. Hey, Sue.
And when you're sitting there with someone else trying to show them how to do something, I don't want to do that. And it's alive, and there's conversation, and there's back and forth that's not how I want to do this. I just want to show them what to do. So,
no, let's see.
I do know. I know a couple of people who have done it, so I'll reach out to them. I will reach out, but I have a feeling that it isn't. I have a feeling that it isn't.
Let's see.
And when I went and looked at Dana's video, it just gave the link to the presentation, and the presentation is like 5 weeks of lives.
My goodness.
So anyway, yeah, Mrs. C. Oh. Thank you, Steve. I figured there was an actual pattern out there somewhere. Let me write that down because I won't remember it.
Mm.
And, I was listening to it and I'm like, okay, I know what she's doing there. I know what she's doing there. I know what she's doing. Because I've done enough amigurumi now to recognize, the increases and things like that. But I do know that I've had a couple people say they really enjoyed making them. So I thought, I thought those girls might enjoy it a lot. And so I reached out and I said, hey, would you guys enjoy it if we worked on this together? And they said, yes. Okay, we've got a project.
Does the sun bunny have big floppy ears?
Mm-hmm.
So you could probably find something that's similar.
That's what I figured. So I'm going to have to find some appropriate yarn for it. But the one of the ones I saw was made out of the really soft, I almost said bunny yarn, but most of them I've seen are made out of just a worsted.
Mm. There are some people who like making lots of their amigurumi in the chenille type yarn.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
As well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I've got some chenille here that I can take. And she was using chenille. Hello, Samantha. Samantha, you were making a sun bunny. Did you get it done? Oh.
Again.
Every couple of pulls.
See, that to me would kind of indicate it needs to be used from the outside of its game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Samantha, is there a written pattern or did you just have to follow along with Mrs. C during her lives? Oh, no, not at all. No.
Oh, hi, Samantha. But chat's taken off.
Steve, do you mean know about doing the sun bunnies in the group? Because no, this is a really good thing.
Oh, Samantha said a written pattern.
Oh,
hey.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Laura.
Oh, yay. Hi, Laura. Yarn Talk people. Written pattern. Okay, I'll have to figure out where to get it. No, this is super exciting, Steve, because it's a little group of girls that showed up at the shop wanting to do the sit and stitch. And so I'm really excited that we're getting people in there for that. And then while we were in there, this other lady came in with her daughter who was about 16. And the mom asked me, are these girls normally in here? And I told her, I says, well, this is something we're just starting. And literally this is the first time we've done it. And she said, oh, my daughter's really excited because she comes with me to my knitting group. And, we're a bunch of old ladies. And she was really excited to see a bunch of girls her age. And I told her she's super welcome to join us. And then I told those girls and they're like, oh yeah, she needs to come be with us. So maybe, we're going to have kind of I don't want to say junior, but a youth group, a young group. It's not just going to be all old ladies. So that'd be, just the idea of having a youthful group in there doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
Shanita makes crocheted items, has the pattern. Email Shanita. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, because I was watching Miss C's cottage, and what I'd really like to do is if there is a pattern, take this opportunity. If they can't read patterns, this is a good chance to, show them how.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
So, yeah, I'm super excited about it.
I'd be lost if I couldn't read a pattern.
And when they were excited about, making something to send to the shelter, and they're like, well, how do we get it there? And I said, you guys get them done. I will mail them. So
that's nice.
Yeah. Well, and they're like 22, 23, so they're just the right age. Diana.
Yeah.
Which Diana? Diana whom, Steve? I don't know of a Diana off the top of my head.
Okay. Diana.
The only Diana I know is the one from the Yarny Social, and I'm sure that's not here. Miss Cheryl is from Australia. Oh, Diana is Mrs. C. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't think I've ever heard her first name. Yeah.
I used to have a file with people's YouTube name and then their real name after it. And I've lost it. I can't find it. I must have deleted it in some cleanup or something.
That's funny. That is right. And you are as well, Sue.
Yes.
Somebody's here in a white vehicle. It looks like Miss Morgan's vehicle. Is she home? No, she would have pulled into the...
It's almost midday. So 12:15 in the afternoon. Here, Sam.
Driveway. No, somebody picking up a child or dropping off a child. I thought maybe Morgan was out there, but somebody with a little child and an adult. We don't usually have people stopping in front of our house because there's nothing like around us. We're the only house. There's houses on the other side of the street, but
yes, tomorrow. It's Monday here where I am.
Coming up here. Hang on. Oh, it's my Amazon delivery. Hold on. I wasn't expecting.
Taking the kids on work experience delivering parcels.
Hello. I know you have to take a picture of it.
That's nice. It seems odd to me that in the States you get deliveries on Sundays. Basically, no one works here on the weekends, like delivery-wise or courier-wise.
Thank you. Oh, it's heavy.
Groceries?
No.
Yes, I know it's Sunday over in the States, Samantha.
Oh.
That's why we have this live, so that it's when both of us are awake, both countries are awake. Robbin was having one in the morning, and it was like 1 a.m. in the morning for me when it was 8 a.m. for her.
Yeah, have the kid carry.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that until much later. This never happens here, you guys. So you guys know Amazon always talks about, the 2-day delivery or whatever. Anything I order takes a week to get here.
Yes.
And I needed some more shelves for the shop. And so I just went online and I looked and see what they had. And I just got one of those little cubey things made out of wire. And I ordered it this morning and it said it would be here this afternoon. That never happens here. But I want to go to the shop tomorrow and get it set up. And
nice.
Yeah, and that was a delivery. I wasn't, and I had kind of forgotten about it, because they usually say it'll be delivered between 5 and 10, and it's 10 o'clock at night before it gets here. Yeah, they deliver all the time.
I was telling the group that we don't get deliveries on Saturday or Sunday. Australia Post don't deliver on Saturday. There are a couple of in the big cities. Some of the Australia Post offices shops are open. But nothing, no couriers work on the weekend. Oh my gosh. No.
No, we get Amazon and that's about it.
Yeah.
Dinner tonight. Let's see. I had some fresh watermelon and half of a
Sandwich.
turkey and ham and cheese sandwich. It was very good.
Mm.
It was very good.
We're having stew tonight. I already cooked it before I left and it's been in the freezer. So do you guys have stew or do you call it casserole?
I love stew. I love beef stew.
Love stew.
Mm.
Beef stew and mashed potato because it's so
Whoa,
darn cold. Good comfort food.
Yes. Oh, Sue's son worked for a Amazon warehouse. One of our grands did. He enjoyed it. He worked there for almost 3 years.
Mm.
He enjoyed it a lot. So I wanted to give you guys an update on the whatever we want to call. I hate to call it an advent calendar because it really isn't an advent calendar, but that's what everybody calls them. So the Yarny holiday December, not really an advent calendar. I mean, because honestly, an advent calendar is supposed to represent the first or the 4 Sundays in December. And that's not what advent calendars do. So I have a hard time calling it an advent calendar. But y'all know what I mean, right?
Yes.
So I've got it all figured out. And as you guys know, most advent calendars, I don't know what else I can call it. That's what I have
Countdown
to
to Christmas. The countdown to Christmas calendar.
You can't really call it Christmas because not everybody celebrates Christmas. So it's a gift calendar. So first of all, most people holiday box. I love it. Amy wins. Amy, you just won 5 Bigfoot bucks. I'm writing it down. Because you have just saved me so much heartache. Do you think people will know what that means? I'm writing it down in my little book right now.
Sue, my husband used to like the
names.
canned beef stew as well. And there were like two little squares, 2 little cubes of beef in it, and the rest was vegetables. And he's like, I don't know why they bother.
Amy Betancourt, $5 in Bigfoot bucks. You got it. For naming this the holiday box.
Oh, rock melon.
Rock melon?
Oh, that's what we call cantaloupe.
Oh, I was going to say, I've never heard of that.
Rock melon.
Holiday box. I love it. Countdown box. Yeah. I love cabbage. I love cabbage rolls. I love braised cabbage. We make braised cabbage and buttered noodles, which, I could eat a gallon of.
Yes.
I love corned beef and cabbage. I love almost anything to do with cabbage. Love it, love it, love it. Don't care for pickled cabbage or red cabbage. I'm a green cabbage person. Okay, so the holiday box is going to be, and I'm going to have a video. I'm hoping tomorrow morning. And I've decided to make it a premiere. So it's not going to be tomorrow morning. It's going to be Tuesday. Because for a premiere, I have to be there. And I've got to go to the shop tomorrow and take some pictures and put my new shelf unit together.
And go to the post office.
It's on my calendar. And I also have a huge, I don't know if you guys have, she's been on here. Jet One In. She's been on here before. Yep. She had me running all over. Hello, Miss Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
She had me running all over Spokane to all the different Michaels to find this one specific yarn, which I managed to find 16 skeins of. And they're because it's the Karen Cloud Cake. And y'all know how big those are. Yes. So now I have to package up and mail to her 16 skeins of this. So I got to get that done too. But
16, wow.
They're huge. They're huge. But I took a sample box to the post office and said, how much is this going to cost? I think it's only going to cost $12 or so. I don't know.
Oh, that's
We'll
okay.
see. We'll
Yes.
see. So the holiday box. Most people's holiday boxes only cover 24 days, right?
Yes.
Maybe 25. Mine's going to cover all 31 days. So you will get a gift to open for every day in the month of December. Because, we need to have stuff the day after Christmas because we've survived, and we need to have something cool for New Year's Eve, all the things. And there's going to be a few really nice gifts. There's going to be a few what I would call medium gifts. And of course, there's going to be a few trinkety gifts. Of course, you have to. Just to make it work, you have to. There is nothing in there that I'm going to say is dollar store quality. Nothing. Because I have seen some boxes, and I swear that's what they were. And I'm able to do this for $125, including U.S. shipping.
Oh,
I know.
I might have to come over and get it. Pick it up in person.
And we'll have to see what it would cost to send to you, Cheryl. I have talked to the post office about Canada, and they were less than useful because I said, okay, how much would a box that weighs this much cost to send to Canada?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, depends on where you're sending it, because it could be anywhere from $30 to $80.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, oh no, that's not going to work. So here's the deal for Canadians. If you're interested, you give me your mail code. I will find out exactly, because I'll have it. I'll have the weight of it. I will find out exactly how much the postage is going to be. I will kick in $10 towards postage, and then we'll see what it would be to ship it to you. And then you can make a decision if you want to buy it or not. And this is nothing to do with Bigfoot Yarns. This is me. This is Roaming with Rover. But I will accept, for anybody who has won any, I'll accept up to $10 in Bigfoot bucks towards it. And I have figured out the value.
Probably would, Amy.
Yeah, no kidding. The way things cost to ship down there. I had figured out the value, and it's in the neighborhood of $250 to $275. It's $125 for the box, Samantha, because I have to buy everything that we're putting in it, and have to wrap it up, and have to mail it off, and we'll talk, Sue. I was able to put this thing together for less than any other box I have seen out there.
Yes, yeah, they're ridiculous price. Not ridiculous. For me, they're ridiculous.
For me, they're ridiculous. I've never been able to buy any of the boxes that are floating around because they're so expensive. And even, and I was told by a friend today that I have to tell you guys this, but I was looking at, what is the name of that company? I love their stuff. They do all notions. They sell notions. And I can't think of it. But anyway, they've got their box out and ready to go. And it's $260.
Wow.
And I was looking through what they've done the past years, and they've got nice stuff. They're no doubt they've got nice stuff. I don't think their box is worth $260. But some people do, because they sell out every year.
That would be close to $400 for me.
Mm-hmm. And you see all of the yarn. You see all of the yarn advents every year, and they're $250, $300, $350 every year. Aberdeen, theirs is $225. And Aberdeen's is going to be all yarn. Now, this is going to be a mix of stuff. There's going to be notions. There's going to be yarn. There's going to be all kinds of different things in there. Yeah, they're definitely making them affordable. And my friend that I was explaining the box to today, she could not understand the concept of all. She'd never heard of such a thing. And I'm also personalizing it. So when you order it, you're going to get a questionnaire. I need to know your birth month. I need to know your favorite colors. We need to know Steve doesn't like purple. Robbin doesn't like orange. Is there a holiday? What's your favorite holiday? Is there a holiday you do not follow? A lot of people don't do Halloween. Let me know this.
Yeah, we do in Australia, not many.
Yeah. Some people love Easter's their favorite. Some people 4th of July is their favorite. Other people Halloween is their absolute bestest. Let me know, because there are some things in there that I'm going to be able to personalize. Not everything will be personalized, but if I can send you something that's purple instead of orange, I would love to do that. Do you like cats? Do you like dogs? Oh, you like dogs? What kind of dogs? You like big dogs? You like little dogs? You love huskies? You love chihuahuas? Maybe I can personalize something. Not everything will be, but by answering those few questions, I can make this something even more special for you.
Yes.
There are some things in there that I am making individually for each person.
Wow.
A lot of the things will, be generic for everybody. So
nice.
I'm only putting together 20 boxes. That's all I can manage.
I'll take 5.
No,
plus another 10.
No. I've already sold 4. I've got orders for 4 already. Oh my goodness. So Denise sent 2 skeins of yarn to Canada. One carrier said $80 USPS.
It was 28 in an envelope.
28 if you put it in an envelope. It's phenomenal from person to person at the post office. I know who, if I walk in the post office and I see this lady at the counter, I turn around and walk out. Because I know it's going to cost more if I use her. Same when I send my blocks. This is what I've learned about the blocks. Make sure there's lots of paper in there, because the paper are instructions. And the instructions make it a document. And if I'm mailing a document, it doesn't cost as much. It is no longer a package if I'm mailing a document.
I was trying to convince someone in the States to send me some stitch markers inside a card, because musical cards and all that go for the card rate.
That's right.
And they were too honest and told the post office what it was. It was going to be $30 to mail.
Yeah, you can't tell them that. And I have done several earrings like that inside of cards, and boom, they just go. And I wrap them in a little bit of bubble wrap and stuff. And one time, in fact, it was Karen Port. I sent her a pair, and they must have run them through the machine because they just got destroyed.
Yes.
But that was the chance I took by not sending it as a package. And of course, I reimbursed her, or I remade the earrings and sent them again. But yeah, it is. Yeah. So what you'll do, Samantha, is you will send me the email to, the email address. And in fact, in a day or two, I'm going to have a video out, and I'll have the exact email address out, and I'll be able to take payment through, not PayPal. What's the other one? Venmo. Or I just found out that my bank does Zelle. Oh, I love Zelle. Just like that, slick and you're done. And so that'll be the 2 ways that I'll do the payment, is through Zelle or through Venmo.
Hi, Fantastic.
Yep, that's it, Sue. Thanks. Oh, hello, Fantastic. Hello. So I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I only
That
did
sounds really,
20.
really good. I like that you're personalizing them. That just puts it a step above a lot of the others. And for your price. Can I be your marketing agent?
Yes, you may. I only did 20 because first of all, I wasn't sure if anybody was going to be interested.
Yeah.
And I already bought everything. And I didn't want to get stuck with a whole bunch. And
Yeah.
yeah, I know I was so excited when I found out I could do Zelle.
It would
And
be great promo too if a couple of YouTubers bought them and, around that time and then showed them on their unboxing.
well, I want to get them mailed out so people have them in time for Christmas. And
Yeah.
especially if that's correct, Steve, and I know that there isn't going to be a bump in the rates, then I won't worry so much about trying to get them out. So then I'll get them out by, early November, because you want them by
Mm.
the beginning so you can open
Yeah.
everything. It's just, one per day. It'll be marked one per day. And I've asked people if they're going to video, please don't show things before the day up, because each day is, a different item,
Yes.
because Miss Amber, she's going to open every single thing the
Yeah.
second she gets it. We know how she
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And blame the grandkids.
Right.
I was going to act. Yep. The grands got into it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Zelle is just lickety slip. We love Zelle. And I did not realize that my bank had it, my credit union, because one of my credit unions don't. So I didn't even think about the other one. And somebody suggested Zelle. And I'm like, oh, I'll check with them. And right there on their website, it says they take it. So tomorrow, that's one of the things I have to do is figure out with them how to get that set up. I know it's easy because I've used it
So
before.
What is Zelle? What is Zelle?
It's just an app that's from bank to bank.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So it's super safe because it's not like Venmo or PayPal. And those guys, they all take fee. Venmo doesn't take fees, but I heard that they're starting to. And you got to make sure you mark it the right way. And whereas Zelle is more like you and me went to lunch and here's my half. Boom. I just sent it to you.
Yep, we have that as well. We don't call it Zelle. We don't really call it anything. Most banks call it pay anyone.
Mm-hmm. It's that kind of a thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was super excited when I found out that they had the Zelle direct bank transfers. Yep. And I always, because I'm an old lady and that stuff scares me. I always do a $1.
The first time
I do $1, make sure this is the right person, and then we do the full amount so that nobody can be concerned and everybody knows you're sending it to the right person and it's on the up and up, and nobody's trying to rip you off. So that's my big exciting news. So when I went to the, this has been floating around in my head for about a year and a half, thinking about it and what could I do and can I do it and would anybody be interested in all the things. And then when I was at the graduation, when I'm laying there in bed and I couldn't sleep, I started making the list in my head of all the things that I would want to add to it. And then I had to start sourcing the things because, you can think of something, but if you can't source it at a reasonable price, you can't do it. And there were a couple of things, like for instance, this is one of the things I wanted to put in it. And I still have I wanted to put these guys in it, the little clicky, the little clicky thingy bobbers.
Yes.
I cannot source these at a reasonable price to where I can afford to put them in.
Right.
So that gives you a clue. Now, I have to say this, and apparently I do have to say this, and I thought it went without saying, but my friend today who had no concept of this idea absolutely didn't get it. And she said, I have to tell you guys. So I'm telling you guys, everything in this is not going to have a Christmas theme. And I told her, all of us journey people that do these Advents, we know this. They don't have, they're Christmas, but they aren't like, you're not getting 24 Christmas items. She goes, well, then you need to tell people that. Well, no, none of us expect that. Well, you've got to tell people that. So I'm telling you guys, you're not getting 31 Christmas themed items.
No.
In fact, you're probably only getting 2 or 3 Christmas themed items. Okay. You're getting yarny stuff.
Yes, especially as you're calling it a holiday box, because a lot of people don't celebrate Christmas. So that would limit your market if people were expecting Christmas stuff.
See, thank you, Sue. Thank you. Sue's like, thank goodness. I don't want 20. And that's what the response has been when I've told people. They're like, yeah, I don't want a whole bunch of Christmas stuff. I want stuff I can use all year round.
Yes.
And then if you guys are happy with it this year and you think the value was there, hopefully next year, if I do it again, you'll tell your friends, I got this great Christmas box from Robbin. And it was way better value than a lot of the other ones you're going to see out there.
I've seen another YouTuber a couple of years ago do a advent box. And had I bought that box, I would have been in tears for what this person paid for it and for what was inside. I just wouldn't know. So I will never buy that particular one. I've never bought one anyway, but I would definitely not buy that one. And yes.
Oh, and one of the questions is, are you by crafty? Do you knit and crochet? Do you do other things? Because a lot of times I find cute knitting things, but my crocheters aren't interested. So just that'll be an important question.
Yes, because some companies do a specific knitting one, some do a specific crochet one. Yeah, it's a good idea.
I'm very.
And again, it will draw people to your business, to your Bigfoot yarns as well. Although you said you were doing this for you.
Yeah, it's for me. But like I said, I will accept Bigfoot bucks up to $10. $10 in Bigfoot bucks. So anybody who's won some money at bingo or some Bigfoot bucks at bingo.
But if it takes off, like in a couple of years, you could be advertising it on your Bigfoot yarns page. And when people type in advent calendars, then hopefully yours comes up in the algorithm and the search results and that.
Yeah. So I'm very excited.
How big you want it to get.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So, and
exciting.
I'm packaging it in. I was, and I was saying this the other day. I was looking around for cute packaging, and I'm like, I'm not going to waste money on that because you guys just throw that stuff away anyway. I'm wrapping it in. It'll be in cute tissue paper with ribbon each individual day, and that'll make it lighter and less expensive to ship. Also,
yes.
So, yeah.
Would you maybe, once you know the scale of how big the package is going to be, send it in a flat rate box? Do they tend to work out?
It's way more expensive to use flat rate boxes than to use pirate ship.
Right.
Yeah. I find it's double, if not triple, the cost to use flat rate boxes. Pirate ship is so inexpensive.
Steve, aren't you supposed to be sleeping?
I know. Holiday box. I'm working on it. He's going to slap my hand every time I say Advent. Holiday box. Holiday box. I love that. Holiday box. Holiday box. That's exactly what I was looking for. I just couldn't drag it from the dregs. And I think people will completely understand that that's what it is.
Yes.
And I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing a video and I've already got my thumbnail picked out. It's so cute. It's such a cute thumbnail. I was trying, I couldn't find, Steve was giving me heck last week because I said I didn't have a Christmas hat. He's like, with all the crocheting and knitting and sewing you do, you don't have a Christmas hat? Yeah, I probably do somewhere. Well, I ain't digging that out. So.
But you don't want it to be Christmas themed. So
That's right.
would you wear a Christmas hat?
Yeah, I probably still would have, just to
Yes.
get people's attention.
Yes.
You know, and the other thing is now everybody's doing Christmas in July. So I really didn't even want to get lumped in with that. But I do
Yes.
want to tell people now, because for two reasons. Yes, even though $125 is much more reasonable than a lot of the things we've seen out there, it's still a lot of money. And I am not unaware of that. I am not unaware of that. Again, when I was telling my friend today, she said that is a ridiculous amount of money for something like that. Again, she has no clue. And
Although, if you're buying 30 items, that's $3 an item, $4 an item.
Mhm.
That's cheap.
And I have at least 2 items in there that are between the $30 and $40 range.
Wow.
Just for 2 of the items. Your big December 25th item and your big New Year's Eve item.
Right.
So I am.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I know. You have been jerked around on your flight for this thing so much. Holiday box.
I find it odd. Not all states in Australia use daylight savings time in the summer.
Oh,
And one of the
really?
Yep. So Queensland, we don't have daylight savings. So if I fly from here to a state that does, I always have that uneasy feeling like, what are the times? Am I getting to Sydney does it say daylight savings time? Or when I leave, is it, daylight savings time? It's very traumatic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I bet. Here, the state of Arizona doesn't. They're the only state that doesn't switch. And Amy, no, she is not a Yarny, so she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand.
Yes. I think 125 is very reasonable for 31 gifts.
Mm-hmm. Including shipping.
If I could do my Christmas shopping for that, I'd be happy.
Right? Wouldn't we be thrilled?
Yeah.
Most times I'm happy to get 2 or 3 presents for that much money. And again, not all of them are going to be big presents. There's going to be some trinkets in there, but they're still going to be cute and fun. I've put a great deal of thought into it.
So where are you off to, Sue?
Oh my goodness. And then it's such a mess. Oh, Indiana doesn't? I did not know that. I thought it was just Arizona. I'll be darned.
Nice. Florida.
Yes, Linda has already ordered hers.
Yes, you are, Linda. Definitely worth $125 plus extra. Oh, wow. How confusing would that be, only having part of the state doing daylight savings and not the whole state? Wow.
That would be a mess.
I can't think what happens at the border between New South Wales and Queensland, whether the Twin Cities there, if Coolangatta on our side does or not. From the phone.
Yeah, it's so confusing. And they've been talking for years and years and years about changing it. Never going to happen.
And it's funny because it's the southern states in Australia that have it. And yet, if there was no daylight saving, they'd still be lighter longer than we would be in Queensland, because the sun's further south.
Well, I mean, it's almost 8 o'clock here and it looks like noon. It's a, bright daylight. And there's been many of the times I've sat here at 5:30 at night in the pitch dark.
Mm.
Barely enough light to run a show.
Yes. Anyway. Whew. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's the middle of the day, but
I was going to say, it's daytime for you, right?
it is. It's 1:45.
Isn't that what we finally figured out?
Sorry?
I said, isn't that what we finally figured out for you?
We did. It's a perfect time.
Good. Yeah, I think we finally figured out the best time for all this.
Figured it out. It's good. It's a good time. And it's even good for you guys so that on the East Coast it's still not too late.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, and it has to do, Amy, I know. It has to do with they have to, of course, it's Congress and Senate and the House, and one can be voted on by the people and the other one has to be done by them. And it has to be whether they change it from daylight or standard. It's a whole big thing because our state too, we did the same thing and it still hasn't happened. But
it would make more sense to have daylight saving in winter.
Is they want Washington, Oregon, and California all to be on the same time zone. They don't want it piecemeal with our whole. So basically the Pacific, they want all of Pacific to be the same. It's like either everybody's in or everybody's out, which makes perfect sense. But it seemed like if you were going to keep it in daylight, and I'm probably messing this up, but if you were going to keep it in standard, it could be voted on. But if you were going to keep it in daylight savings, it has to be approved by the House and the Senate. And
so this would be a permanent change all year round to have.
Right. Oh. And that's going from memory from a few years ago of why hasn't it happened when people want this, and the people want it to stay daylight savings time. But you have to. It's all confusing. But that's my memory of why it isn't as easy to switch. But it does make sense that they want all of us in the Pacific time zone to be the same time zone.
If it's going to be permanent. You see, we have east coast of Australia, we have Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland. Victoria and Tasmania would be classed as being on the east as well. So Tasmania, Victoria, Queensland, Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales have daylight savings. Queensland doesn't. So that would be like Washington not having daylight savings, but Oregon and California having it. It makes no difference.
Yeah, it would be really a mess. I mean, it's bad enough with Arizona not having it.
Oh no, we don't find it difficult at all. Not at all. I don't like daylight savings at all, especially in hot climates where it's, it can be still 30 degrees, 35 degrees Celsius when it's bedtime for the kids. They don't want to go to bed. They don't want to go to bed while it's still light outside.
Right. We're not in World War II anymore. We're not an agricultural world anymore where we have lights and where we need to have, the daylight so that you can go work your fields.
I disagree with that. We're still a very agricultural
right, but we have the ability to light things, to use lighting to work in the fields. And so during the summer months, we can
attract all the mosquitoes and bugs to you with the lights rather than, because it's dark outside the lighted region. Yeah.
I would be surprised, and now having worked wheat fields in the summer, They're not out there at 9 o'clock at night. They're just not.
The bugs?
Not the people.
No, they're not.
No, they're out there at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. But they're not out there working at this time. Well, right now they might be harvesting. But, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It's interesting. It's an interesting concept. And I think it will get figured out eventually, but not in the next day or two.
No.
Not the next day or two.
No. And they say in Australia, they've often said that the reason for daylight savings is so that families can stay out later and enjoy the outdoors when, the sun's in that twilight zone. Nobody's outside. They're all at home inside with their air conditioners on. So, and that would be a change from when it was first introduced.
Exactly.
I lived in New South Wales. Well, apart from the last 20 years, I've lived in New South Wales, and no one goes out. Well, not no one, but it's not the packed parks and playgrounds and everything that people make out. That's why we need daylight savings. And so the people, when they come home from work, can go out and play with their kids and that. They don't. They're having dinner. They're going to bed.
They're in their house,
doing their regular
their
stuff.
air conditioning, and they watch TV and they play with their video games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here in this beautiful daylight, and there's not a single person outside. And there never is. We've got one lady that walks her dog twice a day. And she's already walked her dog. So yeah, and that's it, Amy. Technology has changed a lot in 80 years.
Yes.
And that's what I was referring to
right.
with the farmers and things. It's just they don't rely on that one extra hour of daylight to do anything.
I was watching a guy, he's in the States, and I think there are a couple of farms like that where the cows just go in by themselves when they want to be milked.
Yeah.
And
chickens
it's
go to bed
automatic.
when it's time. They don't care whether there's daylight or not. They go into bed at the same time every day.
Yes.
And they're not out there right now because 7 o'clock is when they go to bed. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think maybe when they're used to it having been dark is when they got used to going to bed when they were babies. And so that's what time they go to bed. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about chickens. I just know it doesn't matter if it's light out or not. When it's their bedtime, they go to bed. They go into their little house. So
probably because they're more vulnerable. When it's darker, they're more vulnerable. They need to be roosting, nesting. It would be interesting to put humans in a cave and so with no clocks, and see what, and just artificial light, like they can turn it on and off when they're up and when they're down, and to see what sort of pattern that they would get into.
Well, I know myself, I get up at basically the same time every day, which is the same time that I got up for 25 years to go to work. And I never set an alarm. The only time I set an alarm is like if I need to get up to go to the airport, or if I have to, go pick somebody up, and because that'll be the one day that I accidentally sleep in. But as a general rule, I'm up between 6 and 6:30 every morning, no matter what. No matter if I was up till midnight or if I went to bed at 9 o'clock. Sometimes if I go to bed, like if I'm exhausted and I go to bed at 9 o'clock, I might wake up at 5 because I went to bed an hour early. But if I stay up too late, I still get up in the 6 o'clock time frame.
And I'm totally opposite. I can go to bed at any time and sleep. And so long as I get 4 hours sleep, then I can be up for 20 hours or whatever. So I can, if I need to be up at 4 a.m. in the morning, I can, and it doesn't affect me. as long as I've had a little bit of sleep.
Isn't that
But I can also, sleep during the day and get up at 6 o'clock if I needed to. So I don't know how jet lag would affect me. I think
probably not?
I think I could adapt fairly quickly
Yeah.
to, if left on my own, to my own devices, that's probably, Amy, what I would do as well. I would go to bed at like 5 o'clock in the morning and get up, at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., something like that. That would be my ideal, but I can do it any time.
That's funny because, well, you do. I mean, how many times have you caught us on a live and it's 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning for you?
Yes. Yeah.
But, yeah, that just doesn't, I'm not me, man.
My internal clock's broken. It's like, just spinning out of control.
She's a spinning. She's a spinning. 1, 2, 3.
One of my sisters is like that, Sue, that as soon as probably say it in other countries, but she wakes up at the sparrows fart. It's like, first thing in the morning, which is like just before dawn, sparrows fart. Yeah.
We just call that old dark 30.
I call it stupid o'clock.
Yeah.
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 Or bottle hives, yes.
I know some of those people, their lives are just ridiculous time frames. Or they'll be
yes, Crystal has been putting on, occasionally coming up for lives late at night where she is, and it's like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. here, and I'm like, yes, I get to see, I can see them, although I have been on some of hers late at night as well. Yeah.
This just happens to work out. It has to be 8 inches and
oh wow.
8 little squares works out to be 8 inches. So
Cool.
I don't have to measure. It's just boom. I mean, I still measure, but it gives me a spot to go on.
And morning doves.
Ooh, morning dove, yeah. So you're all done babysitting the kitty and the puppies.
Yes.
Kitties. And that was a joy.
Kitties are great. I'm not fussed on the little pup. She's a terror. I think, did I send you a picture of what she did in the kitchen?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Up, what a mess. And then bit you.
Yes, bit me a couple of times. Sharp puppy teeth playing and stuff like that. Yeah, not my favorite, but she'll grow out of it, hopefully. I'm not a little dog. She's a little miniature dachshund. I'm not a little dog person. But for a friend, you do what you do. They're going away to Europe for a couple of weeks in October. But fortunately, they've got someone else looking after them for that. They'd already teed it up for someone else to be looking after the animals at that time.
I guess I'm dog sitting this weekend, and I forgot it. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't realize it was this weekend. And then my friend's like, "Don't forget, you're staying with Cash this weekend." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So.
And the dog can't be taken to your place, or you're also looking after the house?
No, I wouldn't bring him over here with the cats. He's not been around cats before. And it's just, he's easier to take care of in his own house. Hey, speaking of Jet One-in, we were just talking about you and all the lovely yarn I've got to send you. Got to figure out the great big box to put it in. So Miss Jet was gonna go search for this fabric that I want, that Joann's keeps saying on their website that they have, and they don't. And so where she lives, she's like, I know I have seen it here. I know I have. So I called them today, in the town she's in, and they're like, nope, we don't have it.
Hmm.
And so the lady that I talked to said, let me look. Well, Carrie, they say they don't have it.
Mm.
I checked, and I'll tell you the name of the store that I called today, and maybe you can check with the other one. But she said she looked in her computer and she said the only place that has it is Idaho Falls, and that's 5 hours from you. And that would be lovely, because Idaho Falls has 3 yards of it, in theory, in their computer. So my lady here says she can talk to the lady there and have it sent. But if you can get it there, if you can check with them there, and I'll text you the name of which store. I don't have the SKU number. I've got the item number, and I'll text it to you because I took a picture of it today. And I will send this to you.
Is it a novelty print?
Yeah. Yep. Boom and boom. Okay, up at the top right-hand corner, you can see the item number. I just sent it to you. But I would take up to 3 yards if you could find it anywhere. Yes, the holiday box will be mailed out in a bag. Yeah, the holiday box is really a bag. It's a holiday bag box. Box bag. Oh yeah, I have learned everything goes in a bag. Everything goes in a bag. In fact, Carrie, your stuff might come in 2 bags because there's no way it's going in one. And I think, oh no, there's way too much stuff to put it in one of those. And the lady at the post office said it might be cheaper to send it in 2 of the big poly bags than to put it in a box. Because I got the nice postage lady.
And if it goes by weight, then yeah, definitely the poly bags will be lighter than a large box. Because for the integrity of the box to be maintained, it has to be quite thick and stiff, so it weighs a bit.
Yep. One. Okay, now what am I doing here? I gotta pay attention when I get to this point. About the item pictures, Carrie, because I think unless there's one after that, then I'm going to go to the shop tomorrow and take pictures of stuff. That was the last one. Oh, that'd be awesome. Because I literally have checked everywhere in the whole country for that fabric. Is it an email, Jet? The last one was the one I got about. I'll call you when we're done here. Because we're getting close to being done. We're at 2 hours.
Trying to make up for last week and not having one. Okay, double time.
We're working on stuff for the Yarny Social.
Right.
And so first she wanted a decent picture of me. Well, that was next to impossible.
Hey. I don't believe
wasn't going to happen. And so that took all day. And now she wants pictures of some of the stuff that I'm going to be bringing for sale because I'm a vendor.
Nice.
I'm a vendor. So I've got to get pictures of stuff, but I'm like, I'm at my house and the stuff is there. And
so when is Yanni's social?
The first weekend of October. 1, 2. That's better. That looks more better. It's just the pictures. Every time I take, I take a decent picture, but usually if I'm having a picture taken, it's just like me and somebody else. And then, trying to getting them out of the picture. Or I'm in a restaurant and then there's all the junk in the background. Or it's like this and I've got my hair hanging half out.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, that would have been a good picture. But I just, at this point in my life, there's just not that many settings where I can have a decent picture. So
in front of a shrubby bush is always good, like a nice green bush.
Yeah.
As your background is always good.
I think I sent her one where I'm next to one of my plants. I'm like, well, that's not half bad. Because so often it's the background that's the problem.
Yes. I say that to my hubby when he's taking a picture. He goes, oh, that looks like a good one if I'm, modeling something I've made or something. And I go, why? Why would you have that in the background?
There's
what's
a
in the
stick
background?
coming out
It just
of my
doesn't
head.
look.
There's a lamp coming out of my head.
That's right.
And Mr. takes terrible pictures, so I can't rely on him to take a good shot of anything.
Yes. Steve focuses on just looking at me or whatever the subject of the picture is and not the background. It's like, okay, but really, do they need to see our washing rack? Piled high like we're playing Jenga or something like that? No.
Yeah. So I do have 1 or 2 halfway decent pictures.
Yes.
But they're like from 3 years ago at somebody's wedding.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how up to date you really want this thing to be. And what weight class was I that year?
Yes. Well, you see, you take one where you're a little bit chubbier and people go, oh, wow, you look so different.
Oh, nice. Now.
And you just tell them that the camera puts on 10 pounds, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, chopping off the top of your head.
Or there's the one light bulb hanging down.
Yes. I don't know about your license photos, but we're not allowed to smile.
Oh, and really?
Like, yeah, you can't smile. You can't.
Oh, no.
It's like, and I have resting. Like, I don't want to meet that person in a dark alley at night because she scares the crap out of me.
She's scaring me now. I can't imagine. Good Lord. Yeah, no.
Yes. Passport photos, you can have a slight smile, or security photos if you're a security guard, but not for your driver's license.
No. Yeah, our passport photos and our passport pictures, we can't wear our glasses. And I'm like, so somebody's going to recognize this?
Yes.
That's what you want my picture to look like for every person to be looking at?
And then they'll be all going, can you take your glasses off so we can see? And you go, it's just all blurry.
Yeah, now I can't see anything. And I've been running into walls.
Yes.
That's delightful.
Oh, dear.
Man. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then when you go on a cruise, which I am wont to do, they use your passport photo as your ID. So every single time I'm going into a restaurant or I'm buying something or I'm going up to the bar, that's the picture they're looking at. And I'm like, oh, great. That's lovely.
So why do they need to see your picture if you're already on the cruise?
Because you don't pay for anything with cash. It goes onto your room key card. So you give them your key card and it brings it up on the computer and this to make sure it's you.
Right.
Yeah. So we don't see it, but they all see it. And then as you're getting on and off the ship or anytime you do anything, it's like your ID card.
Right.
And I couldn't figure out why. I still don't understand why they need to see that when you're going into a restaurant. When you've made a restaurant reservation, you have to you have to give them your key card.
Mm.
And I guess it's the same thing if you order anything, if you order a drink or if you order something off menu.
Right.
Because like if you go into the main dining room, all of the meals are provided, they're all included, but you can order a better steak, or you could order like steak and lobster, things like that that there's a surcharge for.
Extras. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So,
The green card will be taken with your right ear exposed. Okay. Why? Is there something particular about a right ear? Or that's just how bad the camera operator is? I've had ones for my license. They say, look here, and you're still looking, and they've already taken the picture. And it's like,
yeah, you try to figure out where here is.
Yeah. Where's here?
I broke the camera once at the DMV, and the camera broke, and so they had to call me back in to retake the picture. Like, oh, it was that bad, huh?
Yes. My son lost his university ID card because the picture was so bad. He was willing to pay for a replacement, but he has really orange hair, and it grows up rather than down. And there was just something about the way that it was. You could see this dent where his headphones had been, like it was because it was slightly side on. And he said, yeah, we're losing that one.
It's worth the $10 charge to redo it.
Yes, yes. Oh, it's actually warming up now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, it's the warm 5 minutes of the day. In about 5 minutes, it'll start cooling down. The sun's got, oh, yeah, we're going down now.
Yep.
Ah, yes.
Well, and ours used to be 4 years, and now they're 7. There's a big difference in what you look like over 7 years.
Yeah.
So we both get ours done again next year. You don't need it. It's best to have it. So is anybody in here going with us on our cruise? We haven't talked about the cruise in forever. I just had a conversation with the travel agent. We're going to do a live with hers. And
I didn't know that, Sue.
No, I didn't either. But we do not need a passport. However, there are a couple of excursions that you have to have your passport with you in order to go on that excursion. Because you go into Linda. Good night, Linda. We'll talk to you Wednesday. We'll see you Wednesday for Rad Girls. And then, did I do 3? No, I only did 2. Yeah, we're not going to be much longer because we're over 2 hours. So, but because it's called a closed loop. It's called a closed loop cruise, and it goes from a United States port to a United States port, back to a United States port. So that's called a closed loop cruise, and you can do it. Oh yes, bingo night. Bingo's Monday. See, I almost forgot, Linda. Good thing you're on the ball.
It's already Monday.
Yeah, bingo night. See you bingo at 4:00 Pacific. So you can do this cruise with a certified copy of your birth certificate. But I understand that if your name on your birth certificate does not match your current ID, then you have to also have documentation for why your name is changed. And for us, a certified copy of your birth certificate is $30. No, is $50. It's $50 now in Washington. And a copy of your marriage license is $30. So now that's $80. You may as well just have gotten the passport.
Oh, really? Your passports are that cheap? Ours are $350 to get a passport.
Ours is like $120. So, yeah. So for the cost of those documents and the hassle of those documents, you may as well just get a passport and be done with it. And like Dana said, you can get which I didn't know this, but Dana said you can get a passport card, which is not a full passport, and it costs less. So it costs in the $80 range. And that is fine for going on a cruise or driving into another country. Like, so here it would be Canada or Alaska. I mean, Mexico, but it is not good for flying to another country.
Right.
So then you would need a full passport anyway.
Wow. And for your passport, you still need your birth certificate and marriage certificate or change of name. Do you call it deed poll? Change your name by deed poll?
No,
like if you legally change. Oh, so say you wanted to change your name to Carol instead of Robbin, you can legally do that in Australia by deed poll. They call it deed poll. You change your name legally to anything you want, and so then you have a certificate then to say what your legal name is. So how would you do that if you wanted to change your name from Robbin to Carol or something like that?
It's legally? A court process to have it done. You have to go to court and do it.
But they don't have a name for that process?
They may. I don't know what it is. I'm the only thing I know about is by marriage or divorce, and just by doing that, you do it. Amy, are you talking about for our cruise? Because I do know the details for that. If you're talking about for something different, I don't know the details. But if you want to get a passport for our cruise, you should be able to. You go online and look it up because that's where I got the information at, and it's fairly simple. And if you've got, your local, our local post office that does it is out in the valley, which is, 30-minute drive for me. It's no big deal. But they're actually doing one. My post office is actually putting in to do it. International, I don't know anything about that. But I do know it's going to be easier.
So has your Australian passport lapsed, Sue? Like, do you have dual citizenship now with the US and Australia? That's none of my business. I really shouldn't be just curious, that's all.
Yeah, we're just curious because, you brought it up, so now you got to answer the questions. No, that's not correct, Amy. You can get the card with a full passport, but you do not have to get a full passport to get the card. Because we were checking on that because Dana was talking about it and I'd never heard of such a thing. So we researched it, and then I went to the post office and talked to my lady who happened to be the passport lady at her post office. And she said, no, you can still get just the card, but it will not work for you if you're flying to another country. Oh, interesting.
So you have to go to an embassy, do you? To the Australian embassy in Washington, D.C.?
I did not know that was a thing. See, I don't know anything about that.
I'm imagining that's where Australia would have a consulate.
Yours is expired. Yes. Now here's the other thing. You're going to want to get it. Nope, I'm lying. That's not true. It's about Right now they're saying it's about a 4-week turnaround to get it, but the closer you get to travel season, the longer the turnaround's going to be.
Yes.
So don't wait until, a couple of weeks beforehand. The last time I got mine, it took me 2 months, but of course they lost my original application and I had to resend everything back in. So we got Misters right away, but mine took forever. So you figure about 6 weeks. And you can pay to have it expedited, but at this point, I mean, there's no reason to do that. And you can even pay to have it super fast expedited. So.
I see. Yeah.
But there's no point in paying extra if you don't need to. I'm so excited, Amy. I don't think I was aware that you were going with us. We're going to do I'm trying to put together for the first night of the cruise to have a dinner with everybody together in one of the main dining rooms. So I got to get a nose count for that. And because we're going to have like a little gift exchange among all of us. And so plan on bringing, for the gift exchange, plan on bringing a stitch marker that has something to do with you or where you come from.
Nice.
So I wanted something that would be inexpensive, easy to carry, not take up a lot of room. The last time I did a group cruise, we had 2 gift exchanges, and one of them was, oh no, it was 2. We had two of the same thing, I guess. It was 2 different, we had to have, oh no, because it was me and Mr. That's why we ended up with 2 of them. So each one of us had to do a shot glass. Well, they were cute. They were fun. I don't do shot glasses. So, and living in a motorhome, that's just more junk. So.
I was going to say, did you have to travel from Alabama up to Chicago? That would be, well, even Alabama up to Washington's a fair way.
Yeah.
So how many do you have going on the cruise that you know of at the moment?
I don't know exactly. The other day when I was talking to her, she didn't have an exact count, but I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 12.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I can think of 8 just off the top of my head. 9 off the top of my head. There were 3 people that had signed up and then dropped out.
Right.
But I'm telling you, Amy, the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be. I mean, every month the costs are going to go up a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can always put in your deposit. And then if you can't, pull out. But it's better to get a deposit in as the prices are lower now. The one cool thing that has happened because of you guys in California is starting July 1st, starting July 1st, the cruise lines are required to show the fee. The price has to show all the fees. And that's fabulous because they'll go, this cruise is only $800. And by the time everything is said and done, it's $2,000.
Right. Wow.
But you don't know that until, look at that one that I was looking at with you, Cheryl.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I'd have to get a second mortgage on my house to go on.
I mean, and we're worth it, but.
You are, definitely. But.
Yeah, hubby may not think so. Silly boy. So, yeah. So as of July 1st, the cruise companies, because of the law that passed in California, they have to be forthright when they show a price. It has to show all the fees, and they're not going to do it different for California than everybody else. So when you're looking at those prices, it's includes everything. Now it's not going to include your things that are what am I trying to say?
Optional.
Optional. Yeah, there's things that are
Add-ons.
optional that it won't show, but they're going to show the other stuff.
Yes.
So that's really cool. That's going to make it a lot easier for as we're looking for things. I was telling those of you that know Canada has this one hotel that is known for its high tea, and I've always wanted to go there. Well, they actually have an excursion, and it's in the evening. So they're calling it evening tea. And you still get to see the beautiful hotel. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing that. And we usually don't even get off the ship that night because you don't get there till 8 o'clock at night and you're only there for a few hours. But I'm like, I am doing this. I am going on this tea. I'm so excited to be able to go to this hotel for their tea. And I can't wait. It's like one of the things I'm super excited about now. I know you're like, tea. We do tea all the time. What's the big deal? But yeah, I'm very, very excited to do this. And it's never been an excursion before that's been available. So I'm very excited about this. And it's our last night on the cruise. And because you have to be all packed up that night, you have to have all your suitcases out and in the hallway. And so, yeah. So
Hi,
it's
Susan.
hello.
Yeah, so I guess, do you have any family still left in Australia that you visit, like that you would visit, or do they generally pop over to see you? Pop over, she says, when it's a 24-hour flight. It's just down the road, not far. Yeah. Wow.
So, well, folks, we're at 2.5 hours. And when we started, I told Cheryl, we're going to cap this at hour and a half. Because we just don't have that much to talk about. We had a lot to talk about. It seems like we haven't had a live in a long time. But it's so nice when we see all the people coming in and out. And don't forget, as I did forget, tomorrow is bingo. And hopefully you're already over there and got your numbers in. And if not, go over there and put your numbers in so that you're ready to go for next time. You're the middle child. And be ready for bingo tomorrow night, 4:00 Pacific. And that's okay, Susan. We've just been chit-chatting.
Chit-chatting today.
Yep, just chit-chatting, showing off our Cheryl doesn't have anything to show off. She gave her shawl away.
I didn't give it away. It was stolen.
It was stolen.
It was by my sister, but still stolen.
Still stolen. But that's all right. She's now rewriting the pattern.
Yes.
And it's going to be making another one. So are you still working on mine or did you finish it?
Well, I didn't take it when I went on holidays. I've got maybe a third of a skein of yarn left.
Okay, it's nearly
so it's nearly done.
Almost.
It's here. But yes, I haven't picked it up. I haven't done anything. Like I said, I did a few rows of a blanket that I started in December last year. So it's been hanging around for a while as well because all these other things kept coming up.
Oh, I get that. I understand that.
Yes.
I understand that. And if it wasn't for my company being here and being in my way, I wouldn't have even started this. I only started this because it's like, okay, I can talk and do this.
Yes.
One of the very few things that I can talk and do. Gumball, Susan, is
it's a modified gumball.
75% done. Yes, it's definitely modified. We're calling this based on a real pattern. Based on. If I were following the actual color plan that I had created.
Night, Amy.
I would be done. But I added a color. I'm adding two colors. So I'd be ready to start the border. So this is, here she is in all her very brightly colored glory. And we measured it, and it's running like 45 by 50. So it's a nice size. It is a nice size. It's a decent size. And I'm adding on, I still have this of the original color to add in, but I did brown and purple. And I'm adding this color because it's the only other color I have in this yarn.
Is that a lilac color, the second one?
No, it's basically, I would almost call it baby blue.
Oh, it's a blue. Okay.
Yeah, it's a baby blue.
It's showing up light purple for me.
Yeah. In fact, oh yeah, it's pretty different from the one.
Susan, did you do your gumball with the Jacob's ladder with the loops in it as well?
Did you do the loop-de-doos?
I like that, Sue.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could do that? That would sure make travel ever so much easier. You did. Okay. So I'm curious, when you finished the middle piece, how much yarn did you have left to work on your border with? Because I have a lot left.
Excuse me. Well, you said that without you had an extra 50 stitches from the
No, I added. I'm sorry?
Well, initially you said that you had an extra 50 stitches.
Well, when I did
the
first sample one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I kept messing it up. So I'm curious how much yarn you had left after you finished the body of it. And then you did your around. How much did you have left when you were done with that? Because I want to know, I want to go around it twice. That's what I want to figure out. Because it looks, from looking at the picture, oh, even after the border, you had a lot left. Okay. You think you could have gone around again with that color? I'm absolutely going around it twice then. Because I've got like 40 grams left. I've got almost half of a skein of yarn. And then, would you say that border is about 4 inches wide? Use every color once, and I'm going to use every color twice because I didn't do the loop-de-doos, so I've got quite a bit of yarn left.
What's a yarn guide ring, Sue?
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Oops, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I knew I was done when I finished that last round, and here I kept on a going. I think I'm done right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Every color once. Yeah, I'm going to go around twice. I already know that. Perfect. Yarn guide rings. The only thing I can think of is like tension rings.
Oh, okay.
I actually picked some of those up to put in the store because I had a couple of people asking about them. I've never used them, but I did get some of those for the store.
No, I tend not to have very much tension or have a problem with tension. Only one yarn, that's Bernat blanket yarn. I can't tension that at all. And it's not coming through my fingers. It's actually after making a stitch, snugging it up a bit. either too snug or it's too loose, and I stopped using it. Tunisian was the only way I could use it with any consistency in my tension.
I see.
Mm.
Well, I've got to call Carrie and see what's going on. Gentleman has a hook to guide the yarn. Oh, okay. So, because that's right, because you're trying to learn how to crochet. So it's a tension ring. Yeah, that's what they're called. They're called tension rings.
When you knit, Sue, do you knit English style? So you have the yarn in your right hand as well? So is the problem that holding the yarn in your left hand when you crochet?
And see, I knit continental, so I hold the yarn in my right hand regardless. And that's why I knit continental. Three.
So are you back to knitting left-handed, Robin?
No, I knit right-handed, but I knit continental.
Oh, so with the yarn in your left hand.
But I hold the yarn in my left hand.
Oh, okay, I thought you said you hold it in your right hand.
No.
Yeah.
I like this. Oh, so she knits English.
Yes, when I get my teaching people how to knit videos up, it will be English style only. I can't continental knit. I can't, and yet I hold the yarn in my left hand when I'm crocheting. Cannot do it when I'm knitting.
And see, I cannot hold the yarn in my right hand. I've tried. No, that's not true, because when I do the color work, I hold it in both hands.
Well, yes, I can hold it in both hands, but I can't just hold it in my left hand.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yes.
Not an easy thing to do.
You kind of get a little rhythm up with your fingers doing it with two
back and
hands,
forth.
but
Yeah.
no. And trying to purl continental style, oh, forget about it. No.
Well, it's so easy. Flip, 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 flip.
No.
Flip, flip. I think it's like people go, oh, I hate purling. I'm like, well, it's just flip, 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 flip.
It's not the flipping part, it's the actual wrapping and getting through part continental style, I think, is it?
Really?
Yeah, for me.
Not sure. You go doop, 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 doop. I don't know. If only I could count my stitches.
Yes.
That's the hard part. Yeah.
Yes.
All righty, folks. We're going to call it, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night at bingo. Same bat times, almost same bat time.
Same bat channel, maybe a different time.
Channel, 2 hours
Similar
earlier.
time.
2 hours earlier. So thank you guys so very much for popping in, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, toodaloo.
Good night.
Night, Dennis.